All right, alongside Mike Waters this afternoon. Mike, it's very rainy in Bournemouth. We were just catching up a little bit about how things have been. You're not competing on this next Supreme event, but you did on the last one. We talked about that fight very briefly. You took on Mark San Clemente. It was a unanimous decision loss, three-minute rounds, amateur MMA. I believe your first
Yeah,
fight, if that's correct, yes?
my very first fight. Yeah,
And what did you take from that? What did you learn from it? We were talking a bit about your life story. How did that whole fit into kind of what did you want to do going out and actually competing inside a cage?
I took a lot away from it. It was a training really. It wasn't intended for me to fight when I first started training. Um, but they asked me if I wanted to fight, and I said yeah. So I took the fight, and yeah, I taken a lot away from it. And I lost obviously, and no one wants to lose, but we go again.
What did you specifically take away from it that night? Because obviously we were talking with some of the other fighters today, about that journey and the sacrifice and making weight and actually committing the amount of time it takes to go and make that walk. Take us back to that night because getting to that point was crazy.
I've got four children in my wife, and trying to balance between the fight camp and the training and everything around your normal family life was hard. Um, but once you get in there, you realise you're not made of glass, and it's oh yeah, I love it. It's just I never ever thought that I'd be doing it. It was just a chance meeting with an old friend of mine that does MMA, Justin, and I started training just for fitness really, and I've only been training 2 years I think, and yeah, well, what better way to test out what you've learned and jump in there?
Were you afraid? Were there any nerves, or was it like total excitement? Or
It's I suffer with anxiety, and I thought that I take medication. I have done for a good few years now, and I thought that I would, but having Justin and the guys, the team we've got, the Gorilla Fight team, all the lads are brilliant. And yeah, not really. I didn't, and I thought I would really. So I really worried about it. And but no, it was. You get in there, you just do what you do.
and how do you look back on that, like that whole journey of getting into it? Because you talked me through a little bit about your life story, and I mean, was martial arts like always the plan? Was it like when I'm 43, I'm going to start training?
No, no. I've never really got into any. I had two brothers. Both my brothers boxed. Um, my younger brother, but neither of them are with us now. But my youngest brother, Chris, he boxed. He didn't fight, but he boxed, and he died in a car accident when he was 11. I was 13, and my other brother Luke, he had seven or eight amateur boxing fights. And he's no longer with us. He took his own life 10 years ago. Um, and I was always like the pain in the backside of the family, whereas they were quite good, and I'd be fighting at school and stuff like that, but never really thought about competing or anything. And it wasn't until, like I say, I met Justin, and we started doing the training, and they asked if I wanted to fight, and I sort of said yeah, which is where about the what come about with me donating the the money that you get from your ticket sales and stuff. I donated mine to a suicide awareness charity, obviously because of my brother, and just to try and raise a little bit of awareness. Is suicide's one of the biggest killers in young men from the age of like 16 to 20, early 30s, and it's 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 hard. It's not a nice thing for people. So if you can raise some awareness for it, and if one person gets out by it, it's you've done your job.
What would you say to people about that on the topic of fighting and martial arts? Because I was speaking to a couple of other athletes earlier, and it seems to be a common theme from people who work. There's young professionals. There's a guy who's working as an executive in a big company, yet he's going and training and fighting in K1. What would you say to people about that experience? Because to me, to my own life of the gift of martial arts, like it seems to transcend every experience and improve you as a person. But is that the case in the context of what you've talked about here?
Yeah, people like to say they think you're mad getting it. I'm 45 now. I fought last year. I had my first amateur MMA fight at 44 years old, and my wife, for one, I think she'd wish I'd take up golf, but golf's boring. And if you can raise a little bit of awareness and do something you enjoy doing, all right, you get punched in the face for it, but you get a punching back. It's not a, it's yeah, I don't know really, but it's not just that. It's the whole lifestyle of the lads and that I've met through doing this on this journey for the last 2 years. I've met some amazing people. Obviously, some of the people I knew before, but it's just the whole community. It's like with Jordan, the Supreme, and it's brilliant. I really enjoy it, and I think the reason it pulls in people from all different walks of life is everyone does things for different reasons but everyone's got their own little demons or just people that just like the adrenaline.
Was it natural, or was it ever like hard or anything, like you were like, I don't want to do that anymore? I just remember like Johnny Knoxville on like say a particular shot looking and saying, I don't think I want to do that one again. Did you have any of those moments?
No, it's hard work, and definitely when you're a little bit older, nothing as stretchy as some of the young lads in you sort of, but you work around it. Anything's possible. Age is a number. Do you know what I mean? It's painful. It hurts, but that's MMA. It's not you can't go for a swim without getting wet. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely hard work. The training's hard work, but that's what you do. These younger guys, I wish I'd have started when I was real young. But I've got a 17-year-old son who's quite accomplished in what he does, and he's just transferred from boxing over to MMA, and we're hoping to get him. He's only 17, but he's when I stop, he'll carry on the torch. But they say nothing but good things about him.
It's great to hear. I mean, I know that you had an ankle injury which prevented you from competing on this one, so you're on the last one. We're looking forward to having you back on the one in May or April, one of the two. Yeah, for sure. What do you have to say to people kind of who have been following you and know your story? Is there anything you'd use to kind of wrap things up about how it all looks moving forward?
I'd like to say thank you to all the people that there was a link put in the newspaper, in our local newspaper, for the charity that I donated the money to, and people were phoning up and donating money to the charity without, like, people who didn't go to the fight and stuff like that where the revenue didn't come from the ticket sales. So I'd like to say thank you to them, and I'll do exactly the same thing next time I fight. I'm not doing it. I do it because I enjoy doing it, and I like it. And if I can raise, like I said, a bit of awareness, and I'll donate the money to the same charity or switch it up. I don't mind. It's not about the money. It's just about the enjoyment.
That's beautiful, sir. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, listen, Mike Waters, Supreme fighter, Supreme fan this next coming weekend. I hope to see you at the event, brother.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining us, Mike.
Cheers. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.